ensemble pendant 3 jours. Donc je voulais juste dire quelques mots à propos de Jelili, qui est un très grand ami, qui est à nos yeux un des très 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 grands performeurs. Et ce que je souhaiterais faire, en fait, c'est ne pas monopoliser du tout la parole et immédiatement ouvrir à vos questions. Elles peuvent être en français, elles peuvent être en anglais. Je traduirai. Voilà, mais je pense que Jelili va vouloir dire quelques mots avant. Jelili, it's all yours. I just said that I don't want to monopolize the mic and that you would have words to say and that people could then ask questions.
Okay, well, thank you so much. Thank you, Dominique, and I want to thank all of you for coming over to see my performance. It is really glad in my heart because, you know, without you, the performance is just going to be meaningless. So thank you for coming. You may have questions about the work you've just seen, then I'm ready. Because ideally, as an artist, when I assemble, create imagery, it's supposed to be a dialogue within yourself, within me. So I'm propelling a dialogue that must have erupted in your mind. So we're just going to start from there. If you have questions, I'm here to respond to them.
Est-ce que je lance les questions ou est-ce que quelqu'un va en poser une? Madame Alliot.
No.
I'm going to start with a question, if I may. If you could tell us the story of how you decided to perform in front of the memorial of the Shoah, how this decision came to you.
Yeah, I think I'm going to give you just kind of a short story. I came back, was it last, when the pandemic broke, I just came back from India. And the second month it broke and we were all shut inside. Nobody could move, there was nothing happened. And suddenly it's become like a traumatic, you can't do nothing. So everybody is like, suddenly you become a very less human. You can't interact with anybody, it's very difficult to see your mother, to see the aged ones, especially in Lagos. So we were just thrown into that confusion. And when I got the invitation to come and I couldn't, it was supposed to happen last year,
Yes.
And I couldn't. And so I said, okay, let's talk about this. Let's talk about this experience. And you also will recall that I had a performance here in May in 2018, when I talk about the issue of leadership and the issue of the world's power. And I specifically narrow it down to 5 countries. And when the thing broke, the pandemic broke, my mind was on that perhaps this power country are playing with our intelligence, and are playing with our life, and playing with our health.
Let me briefly. Est-ce que j'ai besoin de faire de la traduction ou est-ce que tout le monde s'en sort avec l'anglais? I'm just going to say a few words very briefly about your performance in 2018. Donc la performance en 2018 à laquelle Jelili fait référence, c'était une performance qui a eu lieu au CND, au Centre national de la danse à Pantin, et c'était une performance qui était autour de la violence des grands États et la violence nucléaire post-apocalyptique vers laquelle nous allons tous. Et donc, c'est en lien, c'est une suite de cela qu'on peut trouver dans la performance d'aujourd'hui.
So I decided to let me summon my experience and try to research into what actually are the people saying, what is the people's feeling, and what is my own personal feeling about the pandemic. Well, I'm really sorry that I take this pandemic as something that is the world powers are creating, and something that's artificial. So that's what I decided to research into similar things that have happened in Lagos in the 1918 when it was even a pandemic, and what was the people's reaction and how do people survive the era. And I got to read of an experience by one Williams, who wrote about what the king of Lagos did at that time. The king summoned all the herbalists in the area and asked them to provide solutions to the pandemic at that time. And then the people came through, used the indigenous method of healing. And that was what influenced my performance, and the imagery which I borrowed from the essence of the feminine energy. That is the element that I wear, which is 33 Iroke Ifa, which is more of the presence of the mother, the presence of the female. And putting on my head is trying to symbolize the where our attention should be concentrating on.